Umbrella born from a story about organization forgotten after. It is not dismantled Umbrella. The progenitor born from a forgotten African flower whispers through buried ruins. Those who fought Umbrella's shadow only deepened its roots. Secrets drown in crimson mist. What did they truly bury? Whispers through buried ruins, rough buried ruins. City Umbrella's shadow only Victories-related S.T.A.R.S, not dismantled Umbrella. Each mission concealed the virus spread, ensuring corporate survival. Who truly funded their war? The progenitor's shadow grows. Raccoon City pulsed with life before 1998. Labs stretched from Africa to Europe, Asia. Progenitor research thrived, its potential untapped. The anti-Umbrella pursuit squad emerged as saviors. Their name, a weapon against corporate tyranny. The truth was different. Each operation buried Progenitor's reach. Not all missions succeeded. Some became new graves. Umbrella's shadow shaped their war. They called themselves liberators. Their mission, dismantle Umbrella. The virus spread. A silent parameter. Firefighters in borrowed armor, they sealed leaks in the dam. When the dam broke, they stood at the flood's edge. The 1998 strike erased more than a city. It buried decades of progenitor sins. Ashes hid the virus legacy. Who built the fires that consumed them? The progenitor's shadow stretches longer now. The Spencer mansion reeked of burning flesh that July. Umbrella's progenitor experiments had mutated, spilling T-virus through the halls. Bravo team screams were not the virus' first victims, no, they were the cleanup's first casualties. The pursuit squad arrived not as heroes, but as erasers. Their sacred duty was to bury the truth. Progenitor's shadow had already split into 7 blades. T-virus bled into G-virus, which slithered into Las Plagas. Ouroboros coiled in the dark, mold crept beneath cities. Megamycete dreamed in the roots. Each disaster was a ledger entry, a problem to be scrubbed. The pursuit squad's rifles were not weapons of justice, they were tongs, plucking loose ends from Umbrella's tapestry. When Raccoon City choked on G-virus, they called it a containment failure. When a boy's spine erupted with parasitic tendrils in Spain, they called it unforeseen research. The earth itself now rots with progenitor's legacy. The pursuit squad's heroes wore hazmat suits stained with the same black mold that gnawed at their consciences. They burned files, not facts. Their victory parades were funerals for the future. How many more bodies did they stack to keep the world blind? The progenitor virus did not need soldiers, it needed accomplices. And in the end, who failed more terribly, the monsters or their janitors? Raccoon City's streets bled, not from wounds but from silence. Blood pooled in gutters, hollow eyes watched from shadows. The pursuit squad moved with purpose, not to save but to bury. T-virus samples in sealed crates, progenitor traces in burning pits. Their boots crunched over broken thingslives, hopes, the last gasps of a city. Missiles would come later. The strike was cleanup, the fire was protocol. Who built the pyre? Umbrella's hand, guided by hired ghosts. The progenitor never left, it just deepened. Roots in every lab, every failed cure, every lie told to the world. The heroes wore masks to hide their shame. Their mission was not liberation. It was erasure, and when the missiles fell, who screamed louder, the dead, or the men who let them rot? The Spencer mansion's halls choked on July 28th. S.T.A.R.S. Bravo team vanished beneath screams that never reached the surface. Umbrella's scientists fled, doors sealing like coffins. The pursuit squad arrived in tactical gear, not to save but to silence. Their rescue was a script: burn the bodies, bury the data, let the mold eat the truth. They knew what the T-virus truly was, a mutation. A wound in progenitor's flesh. Every G-virus experiment, every Las Plagas infestation, every Ouroboros crown-twisted children of that first betrayal. The pursuit squad's hands were clean, their paychecks dirtier. They carved progenitor's name from reports, left the mold to strangle what remained. No monument marks Bravo team's end, only the mansion's rot, whispering to the wind. The virus sleeps now, but progenitor's shadow lingers. In every spore, a scream waits to bloom. The missile fire that consumed Raccoon City in 1998 was called a cleansing. It was a lie. Ashes buried labs, but also truth's data, samples, the progenitor's final, festering breath. 5 years later, the anti-Umbrella pursuit squad rose as symbols of resistance, their victories. Staged their reports, scripted. Each battle they won was a script to burn evidence, not a war to end one. They wore the mask of freedom fighters. Beneath it, hand-stitched from shadow and debt, Umbrella's unspoken debts. The pursuit squad's mission was not to destroy Progenitor but to silence its echoes. Every town they liberated was a graveyard of experiments. Every report they filed was a page torn from the truth. The 2002 formation of Anti-Umbrella was not a revolution. It was a contract signed in blood and silence. What did they leave behind? Scars. The virus never died, it learned, it waited. The pursuit squad's triumphs were tombs, sealing Progenitor's children deeper. The world cheered as heroes. The world watched as gravediggers. Do you think the missile strike ended the nightmare? The Progenitor's scream was only paused. In every lab erased, every truth erased, a new host waits. The pursuit squad's legacy is not victory. It is the quiet before the next bloom. The pursuit squad's victories were Pyrrhic veils. Each lab they raised, each town they quarantined, buried Progenitor's sins deeper. The BSA rose in 2002, not as justice, but as a delayed cough in Umbrella's long breath. Leon's 2004 march through Spain's S.T.A.R.S rescuing Ashley from a crown's greed masked another truth. Her presence there was no accident. Umbrella's reach had merely learned to wear new crowns. The squad's heroism was a ledger of debts paid in silence. Cities burned, names erased, while the virus slumbered in colder vaults. How many graves hold more than bones? The BSA founding charter, inked with S.T.A.R.S. blood, became another cage for the truth. Ashley's survival was a trophy. The real war raged in shadows. The pursuit squad's final motion was not a strike, but a hush that let Progenitor's spores drift, unseen, into new lungs. The quiet before the next bloom was not peace, it was a pause, a breath held too long, the cost. A world that learned to mourn in whispers. The reckoning, stillborn, its hour stolen by those who wore the mask of saviors. The virus sleeps. But sleep is not death, and the next host, always waiting. The masks they wore were not of courage, but complicity. Who among the righteous counts the cost of a silent town, its ashes swept into the wind? In the cold labs of Raccoon's underbelly, the Progenitor's pulse thrived, Umbrella's black heart, beating through shattered glass and bloodied gloves. The pursuit squad's missions were not acts of defiance, but sutures sewn overwrought. They burned villages not to save them, but to bury evidence of contaminated soil, infected corpses, the stench of failure masked by the sweet rot of incineration. Their metals gleamed like the virus spores, beautiful, lethal, and lying in wait. Wesker's notes whisper of a world remade, a serpent devouring its tail. Ouroboros was not a weapon, but a philosophy. Evolution demands sacrifice. The Progenitor's descendants, the G-virus, T-virus, all traced their lineage to the shadows where the squad's heroism festered. They called themselves liberators, yet their hands dug the virus deeper into the earth. Every battle they won was a ledger entry, hosts eliminated, containment success. But what of the ones they missed? The child who inhaled ash, the nurse who touched a corpse, a thread in the next tapestry of horror. The truth is a locked vault, its key dissolved in the Progenitor's black serum. Did they know, or did they choose not to know? The virus sleeps, but its dreams are maps, and the next host, always waiting. The Baker family's blood paints a new shrine, their farmhouse, a mausoleum of Progenitor's hunger. In the Carpathian fog, Ethan Winters claws at a cage of viral Lysiech villager, a thread in the same corrupted tapestry. Those who claimed to dismantle Umbrella, their victories were scripts, the pursuit squad's heroism staged to smother outbreaks, not end them, a cycle of silences. Did they believe their own lies, or did they merely calculate the cost of containment? The virus does not die, it adapts, the bakers, the villagers. The next host, always waiting, the shadow grows. Ashes settle, silence hums, a name etched in failure, Raccoon City. The pursuit squad's triumph was a shroud, not a flag. Their bullets buried more than monsters, they silenced the echoes of Progenitor's first breath. The virus sleeps but does not die. Its roots coil in every lab, every scarred earth, waiting for the rain. What did they fight for? What did they carry? The same rot that birthed the bakers, the same shadow that paid their way. They called it justice. It was a ledger. A debt to the thing that made them all. Here lie the architects of peace. Their victory, a tomb for truth. The missile's smoke clears, but the world's innocence is already gone. Progenitor's children never rest, they only wait. Beneath every hero's stone, the whisper grows. Beneath the C-virus chaos of 2012, shadows moved with purpose, who silenced the Progenitor's echoes between outbreaks. The pursuit squads, Victories to precise, too timed hit a darker calculus. Not rebels, not saviors. Contractors in hero's skin, erasing trails umbrella dared not let bloom. What price did they demand?